fishing for fishing.
Fishing for fishing.
All right. Shane's a big fishing advocate. He likes to go fishing.
He likes it too cold. I'm up till December in this neighborhood. Uh-oh, he got a little steep on this 8-ball.
Yeah, now he's going towards the 10, and it's negotiable, easily negotiable, but he would rather have been on the other side of the 8, so that was maybe a mental error, maybe an execution error, but an error nonetheless.
Yeah, and that'll take its toll eventually in longer events like this. You want to start always, putting yourself to the test, say. You get tired at the end, but he is only 19 years old. He's not going to get very tired. Nice shot there.
Okay, that was a nice low left English shot, power stroke. He was able to pull that up, and then when you saw it hit the rail, it actually arced upward and hit the top of the 10. If he didn't have that arc, he would have hit the bottom of the 10. He would have been probably on the rail, on the short rail.
Michael, do you find it nice at the beginning, like of the end of the rack, like the 8-ball, 9-ball, whatever it is, to maybe let some tension out, and if you're able to hit a ball a little solid, it's a good idea?
I do. If you noticed, Victor last night hit every ball hard, and Chris and I were talking about that a little bit, and Chris was saying, this he's calling him a kid. He might be like 50 and just looks like he's 18, but Victor played very well, pocketed exceptionally well, and every ball you heard like a thwop into the pocket. He really speared it in, and quality player. But I do think that it does build confidence to pound a ball in every now and then when you can, just to sort of let your stroke loose and get those muscles engaged a little more.
Now let's talk about these 2 balls in the back, the 6 and the 2.
Yeah, so the 6 is banking one rail towards where you just placed the chalk, and the 2 is banking one rail towards towards the other corner pocket. So those are tracking towards pockets as well. The 8 and 9 should basically hit the rail and come back. We just saw the 6 go in, and the 4 and other balls, and he I don't know if he got kicked in or lost his cue. I was actually tracking the 6. He's got a little relief on the 2 ball.
It was tracking up there, and it got a little kiss too.
That makes sense. I think what Fedor is going to do, I think the play here is the side pocket, and you try to split the 9 and 2 with the cue ball. So you play
go into him.
The 1 in the side, leave an angle so the cue is splitting those balls unless it goes. If it goes, you don't touch them. But if it doesn't go, you play position to split him. I think it goes because he's not attacking him. So he's going to shoot this past the 8 with follow. Make sure he's not jacked up on the 2. He'll pocket the 2, probably straight in, stop shot for the 5. The rest of the rack should be pretty easy. Now, he's on the wrong side of the 2 to make this easy.
It's easy enough to just bump into this 9 too a little bit.
Right, but you'd rather be on the other side because then you can throw the 2 in with collision-induced throw. Now he's got to cut it in, which means the 9 is a bit of a eyesore.
Right, it's in your
and
visual
you can't throw the balls in as easily. All right, no problem though. Now from the 5 to the 7, he just wants to get semi-close to the 7, probably within a couple diamonds, and then he can judge the speed for the 8 in the corner of the side very easily the closer he is to the 7. So he'll want to get close to the 7, and he's got the angle to get nice and close to the 7. And I personally like to swing for the side pocket, but he could come with low outside and play for the corner, but I like the side here. He wants to underhit it rather than overhit it. All right, that's perfect. Almost straight in. He'll go to the long rail towards the 9.
You can even come back if he's got that angle if you'd like. It seems like he's leaving the cue ball nice and quiet.
Yeah, he's going to play for a through rail position. So what he'll do is he'll leave the cue ball around the 3rd diamond, and he'll cut the 9 to his left and swing by the rack to the other diamond, and then go towards the 2nd diamond in the middle of the upper right corner. And that'll take away all the scratches. So 2nd diamond, first, 2nd diamond is what he's really looking for here. 1, 2, back towards the 2nd diamond. And now he's going straight into the 10 and took away all the scratches by doing that. Nice shot by Fedor. And the break has actually been favoring Fedor Gorst at the moment. So if he keeps this up, he'll be looking really good for action against Thorsten in the finals. He needs to maintain his serve now. If he maintains his serve and Shane maintains his serve,
it's over.
Percentages say that Fedor has the win, assuming there are no mistakes.
But SV being not immune to coming back from being down 2 or 3 serves for sure.
Well, world champion, strong player all around. Both players have done very well so far in their careers. 4 on the side, 8 on the side, are primary. 1 tracking towards the right corner. 2 and 3, 4 rails towards the pockets they're facing. 7 towards the chalk corner, upper left. 5 towards the upper right. 7's going in the area, 5's going in the area. 5's actually locked up the 3 ball. So I'm looking ahead here, and I see a 1, 2, 3 safety.
Well, I believe he can make the 3.
All right, if there's more space between the 5 and the 3 than how it looks on the screen, which is very possible.
But it's hard to get inside to get down to this 6 ball. But the 6 ball is kind of close to the pocket, so it's cuttable. So if he wanted to go at this, I think he can for the run out.
He's got to go at the 1 here. Then he's got to get position on the 2, and he'll either play a safety on the 3 or cut the 3 in. And 3 does lead all right to the 5 as long as he can stay above from the 3, cut it with a little outside English and miss the 5, come back for the 5. He should be all right. But the 3 is the critical part of this rack. So he's going to go 1, 2, 1 in the upper left corner. He wants to get underneath the 2 so he can Z pattern back up for the 3. So he'll go long rail back down. Just make sure he doesn't get safe behind the 6 like you said. Okay, well executed. And now he'll either 1 rail this to the middle of the table where you can see the 3, or he'll use the other long rail and try to get closer to the 3 ball. This depends on the angle of where the opening is to the 3. Now where he's looking, he's only going to use 1 rail.
And it's a small window he needs.
It's a very small window. If he gets close and he gets hooked partially by the 3 or by the 5, he can still play that safety.
Real good safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just a stick shot. You stick the cue there, and the 3 banks 3 rails out and gets in the general area of where the 2 is. Oh, wow. That's a huge error.
I'd be surprised if Shane goes after this 3 ball now.
Well, he's looking to see if he can go 2 rails. So short rail, and come back up for the 3. I think that's the play here. I wouldn't try to attack this with 1 rail. I would go 2 rails because anywhere I land where I can see the 3, I can play the safe or possibly cut it in. So he's going to go short rail, and come back up. I think if he does attack it, he's putting a little bit of risk in, and he's more likely to leave himself a bank on the 3 or something of that nature, unless he hits the 5 square or thick enough to push the 3 down. But
it's like 25 feet of travel on this.
Yeah, minimum of 8 to 10 diamonds, really. Plus the 6 diamonds to get to it. Or 5 diamonds to get to it.
It's a long way to keep pace of putting it on a saucer.
Spot. Yep. Now, if he can put a little bit of outside, he'll make the window a little bigger. Okay, put a little inside. And he didn't want to hit the 8 ball.
Does he go for the bank here?
Well, he is a 1-pocket champion, so that's definitely not out of the question. If he can cut it, he might get in trouble with the 8 ball. So I think the bank is the right option, and that's what he just called. So he's going to bank this, and I believe he'll draw underneath the 5 or straight out. And I think the straight out is a little safer. I wouldn't try to brush the 5. I think he can get in danger. Unless he's got to cut it more than I think. But I think he just draws it straight back, misses the 5, and accepts a thinner cut on the 5. Okay. He hit the 5, The 5 went towards the 7. I'm not sure if he's got a pocket or not. Oh, he definitely has a pocket. Okay, so he's all right. A good shot by Shane, and
oh, he's a little straight on this. He's going to have to amp this up. You might see a little bit of fireworks here, folks. He could just play it nicey nice and roll it up about 4 inches and take the tough cut on a 6. But he can also let his stroke out here and jack up.
Yeah, he's going to draw this out.
Draw it
The
way
only
back.
error is if he hits the 6. He doesn't want to hit the 6 here, and it may sound odd, but it is new claw, so it could slide a little on him.
Oof.
Now, he played that a little differently than I thought.
Played the short side.
He did play the short side. He was trying to get more draw. He actually got more stun than draw, so he didn't hit his cue ball low enough. I think he wanted to track towards the first diamond, so he's still alive.
Yeah, still alive. A little mistake there. Another mistake by Shane.
Now, he cuts these balls really well, and I like this shot. He's got the whole right side of the table to play position. He'd be pretty hard up to get stuck behind the 9 or 10 here.
Yeah, just don't be quick on these tough cuts.
Yeah, he's taking his time. He's going to fake us out a second, rethink it. But I think he's got to shoot at this.
It's been said certain players will do that just as a means of...
They want to see how they feel on it.
No, they'll do it to have their opponent thinking that they're going to shoot something that they're not. A little strategy play and then play him safe. Like, oh, he's going for that. I might have a chance to get up there and see a ball. Kind of a move. He still plays it. He's getting down. Thin cut here. All right, split the pocket.
No issues there, and he got a well-deserved applause from the audience. He'll swing underneath the 8, I believe, with a little bit of outside English. Try to get straight on the 8, or actually favor the right side of the 8 as we're looking at it, so that he
stay
can
closer to the rail.
I think he's going to go the other way because,
right.
He wants to get away from the rail as far as possible, so he can get better position on the 9. Now he's got a little work. He might even play for the side pocket here if it's a big window. I can't see from this angle. It's not. So he's going to go back and forth with a sort of Z pattern, low outside. Oh, he is playing the side, or the corner. He's playing the lower right corner. Incredible speed there. That deserves an applause there. That was great speed control. He was crossing the line there and landed right on the dime. Got the correct angle on the 9 to get easy on the 10, and it's going to be another score on the board there for Shane. All right, so 3-2, bringing it back a little closer.
He grabbed that one back, so basically Shane kind of stole that rack, and now he's back on track for being
it's his
par.
break, so it'll if he can lock this down, they'll be tied at 3-3 after this rack if he can make this rack his own. Just a little side knowledge: Gorst placed 3rd in the Derby City Classic 9-ball and 10-ball challenge. So right now he's guaranteed for 3rd here. He's no stranger to top finishes.
Oh no, yeah, no, and he's a former junior world champion, and I believe he's had some other notable wins and finishes. At a tender age of 19, so that goes to show you it's nice to have young eyes and young nerves. Here we go, SVB to the break, possibly one of the best breaks in the world. 10-ball breaks and 9-ball breaks.
Yeah, mechanically that worked out very well. He'd like the 5 not to roll in front, but I think he's pretty straight where he can play short side position.
A 5-7 up there is a little, or 4-7 is a little cumbersome.
The 4-7 is a little nasty. Is that the 3 down at the bottom, or is that the 7 down at the bottom by the 2?
It's a 5. Is that a 5 down here?
Yeah,
that's a 4 up top and a 2-5.
Okay, where's the 3 ball?
No 3. 3's in the
so
bucket.
3 went down. Okay.
So he's got to get from the
so 1, 2, 4, 5,
two to
back
4.
up to the 7. I think the 4 clears. He's just got a small window. It looks like it clears in the pocket there. So he'll float forward with the 1 if he can, play the 2 in the lower left corner where he just put the rack, and then come back up towards the Brunswick. There is room. There is clearance there for the 4 ball. He's just got to get close to the rail and probably within the diamond of the rail on the long rail. He wants that line. So really like a...
What is he doing? Playing a combination.
He's playing the combo so he
you
can
don't
get
have
back
to
position.
go back down.
Yeah, so he can get back position to the 4.
All he has to do is make the 4 and then draw back for the 7.
Here's why he played the combo. If he got to the right side of the table, he couldn't get underneath the 2, which meant he was going into the 5, which meant there was no possibility of getting back to the 4. This way, he makes the combo. Now he can get back up to the 4.
Yeah, and 4 to the 7 is pretty easy from there as opposed to trying to get to the center of the table. You just drop out. He's going to have to – I wonder if he has a little angle going to the short side over here. He sure does.
He's very thick on this ball, and he's going to have to pound this to get as close to the bottom rail as he can off this ball.
And pounding it, then you got to use a little spin and trying to hold that speed is very tough.
Stun outside is what he's got to do here, and he's got to get it all the way back to the short rail. Anything less than that, and he's in trouble and probably not going to win the rack. So he's forced to put on his best stroke here and get the cue as close to the chalk that's next to his body as possible.
Wow.
Oh, he didn't have as much angle as we thought, and he did put it right by the chalk, and I think he's got the shot. We're going to have John watch the hit. This should be pretty easy to tell because the 7 will either go forward or it'll go up. If it goes up, then it's a good hit. If it goes forward, then it's a bad hit. And he's got plenty of room to hit this ball. Yeah, that was a good hit. Now I actually play for the 8 in the lower left corner as opposed to the side. Let's see what Shane opts for here. And I would actually go 2 rails towards the Brunswick and then towards the first diamond and back out. And I want the back angle to go across for the 9. So I want to be closer to the rail than on the other side. Now he amped up, play position for the side.
Watch the corner.
And
came very close.
Scared me, excited Fedor Gorst, and I would say got pretty fortunate not to go and drink there. So he's got a natural run railer back out with a little bit of outside English for the 9 ball. He wants angle on the 9 so he can get back to the 10. So back to the middle of the table would be ideal. Got there just fine. This is a top outside or center outside is just as good, whatever he feels more comfortable with. I like top outside because then the cue ball doesn't swerve at all. And pretty thick hit here. He's very good on this 10 ball. Hit it a little wide, but good enough to go in. And just like that, the score is 3-3. We got a tight game.
Yeah, race to 9.
It was a 3-1 lead by Fedor, and now it's
Shane back on serve.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Okay, guys, if you're just tuning in, we are at Steinway Billiards. This is the Predator Q's Steinway Classic. You're watching Fedor Gorst at the table. He's racking at the moment. You can see Shane in the upper left corner. A lot of spectators here tonight. There's a good vibe in the room. A lot of people sweating the match, eating some good food here at Steinway, watching some great matches. And I'm visited here with Tony, New Jersey Tony, and Upstate Al.
I got a raise and a name change.
Troy, Tony.
That's all right.
Bad Michael.
Back to work.
All right, 5-7 in the side. 9-6 tracking towards the corners that they're closer to. Upper left corner, upper right corner. 3 ball, lower right corner. 2 ball, lower left corner. 1 ball, upper right corner. Okay, he crossed the cue over. And he's going to come up dry.
Break almost looked a little too measured.
It was a little soft. I think a little tentative, making sure he didn't lose the cue ball. I think what Shane's going to do here is stick it on the 7, or maybe go forward with the cue ball and then land on the 7 to prevent the 1 ball from leaking out. A lot of times when you try to stick this ball, the 1 ball leaks out on you, comes out too far, and you figure you got a dead safe, but it's not.
Can draw it back into the 6 too.
He could. He could also cut it and go into the 6.
He's got
But I think he's playing it safe on the 6. I think the 6 ball is the right play here. Bank the 1 out and put the cue ball on the 6. Yeah, that's a good shot, except he let it leak out. And
he looks away in disgust.
He didn't get the 1 either. I thought he was going to get the 1 at first, but then the 1 came wide. And that's a huge error.
What's up, girls?
Upstate.
Put your foot off of there, Bigfoot. Hello, ladies.
Guys, we should also thank AZ Billiards. They also are a major contributor here, along with Iwan Simonis cloth. Definitely the finest cloth I've ever played on. Predator equipment. They once again changing the technology with the Revo shaft. They're also putting out a new set of balls and some other stuff. Aramith balls are also another contributor here.
Aramith Balls is the biggest contributor. Oh, well, after Predator Q's, of course, is the main sponsor.
All right, so we got an easy 2 ball. He can go into the 6 ball, and he should have shape on the 3. This is just a flow forward. I would, as long as that's not, yeah, that's the 7 up there. So you can put the 6 in front of the 7. It's not going to do any damage. So I would go ahead and go into the 6 here, push it down towards the corner. If it doesn't go in the corner, you got no issues because it's not blocking a ball that's under it, meaning like a 5 ball. So
I think he could thin this enough to get past it.
Yeah, he's going to follow 4. He's going to play a 3 in the side, but he's going to push the 6 down. You know what I mean? Like if he was concerned about pushing the 6 towards the corner, right, it would have blocked the 7, but the 7's a higher number ball, so there's no issues there.
Got you.
Now the 3 to the 4. Oh, JB cases. I have one of those cases. Nice case. 3 to the 4. He's going to play for the 4 on the side. He wants to get as straight as possible. If he doesn't get straight, he'll have to use inside English, go to the rack area, and then back out for the 5. So still a little complicated, this rack. Very negotiable, but a little complications. A little challenging. A little focus required. We got Tommy Walters in the house, actually. Fine straight pull player in the New York area. A lot of players hanging out. Jeremy Sosi in the background. Strong U.S. contender. Mike DeShane was here yesterday. Another strong U.S. player. There are a lot of events coming up, guys. He's going to play the 4, come 1 rail out. Doesn't have to use inside English. I think he got pretty straight, so just pure follow. Good shot. He'll come 1 rail out to the middle again, favoring the left side of the table.
Yeah, he's not too concerned with anything left on the table here.
He just wants to make sure he stays to the left side of the 6 so he doesn't have to go into the 7, and then everything should be connect the dot. You know, if you get to the right side of the table on the 6 and they have to bump the 7, it could be dangerous. But as long as he goes back and forth and passes the 6 or gets straight on the 6, he's good. He'll just draw this straight out. Good shot. Now I'll play this 1 rail to make sure that the 10 ball doesn't come into play. You could play it 2 rails, but 1 rail's a little safer. It'll come 1 rail.
I like 1 rail. Yeah, you don't want to trap yourself up with
open tables.
Open tables.
He could check this with a little bit of right. That doesn't hurt him much. Now go 2 rails. He'll hit the rack area and then go to the left, probably around the 3rd diamond. He can either play to get straight or play to get angle. I actually like playing straight. Only problem with that is sometimes you can leave yourself where when you do the draw stroke, you're frozen on the rail for the 10 ball.
I like going forward to this one anyway.
Yeah, he's going forward, but I'm saying...
No, I'm saying on the 9,
yeah.
10.
Oh, on the 9 to the 10? Yeah, well, he left himself angled to draw out. See Caroline Powell, she was in the booth earlier. Irwin up there with her. Chris in the background as well.
Chris Melling, Nick.
Stu Matana, great coach in the New York area.
There's Greek Nick Economopoulos.
You see Tommy Waltz is there. Aaron the Doc. He's going to go 3 rails with inside English, I believe. 1, 2, 3.
I think he caught it a little fat. He was trying to come on the other side, possibly.
Based on where he got, I'm pretty sure he was
good
playing that
there.
position. Yeah. He just wanted to make sure he was above the ball rather than underneath it. Again, if you're underneath it, you bring in scratches and stuff. As long as you're above the 10, you're a lot less likely to be in any sort of trouble. You just have to make the ball. Okay, nice shot by Fedor. Kind of stole a rack there. Unexpected error with Shane not getting behind that 6 ball. That was a pretty standard safety there that Shane foiled.
Keeping this Tiger at bay for now. SVB with the break and looking to tie it up and hold serve. And at this rate, the finals will be in about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, are the finals at 6?
I believe
for
so.
Sure? Or a little earlier if they finish early, I'm not sure. But Sweat his break, crossed over. Now, the funny thing about Shane, and I was also talking about this with some other players, when Shane does mishit it and cross over the ball, he still gets really good action off the balls, meaning he usually makes a ball or two, sometimes 3 or 4. But I don't believe he can make the 1 from here.
You can barely see it, right?
Yeah, if
about
he
half a ball.
If he can, he's going to have to swerve it in. Not your favorite opening shot after the rack. He may have to push out.
Or cross it, put it by the 3, and put the cue ball behind the 5. I mean, there's really not a lockdown safe.
I think he can see it because he hasn't taken much time unless he's planning to bank it or something. Yeah, he was banking it and playing safe. That was a little aggressive. I think if he was banking it, I thought he would go all out for the bank, but he missed it so far hitting the 4 ball. I don't think he was playing a bank. I think he was playing a safety.
He didn't do either.
Yeah. That last match might have taken a little energy out of him. He might be a little unfocused.
Yeah, once to the B side of the chart, the second and the third day, you're playing match after match.
A lot of energy is getting consumed every match.
Well, that's why they say the eating of good food and staying healthy is imperative.
We have Nico, the saxophonist, just walked by. Little shout out to our saxophone friend.
Nice shot there by Fedor.
Great shot. 1 rail, a little bit outside. Got right back to the middle. Natural position to the 3. Center ball. Turned to follow by the time it gets to the shot and hold up right around the middle of the table again.
Shooting a ball in like that after your opponent makes a mistake kind of just empowers you.
He's probably empowered just because Shane is making mistakes. Anytime you're playing against the level that they're all playing at right now, when your opponent's a little under, and you gotta attack, and Fedor is doing a good job of that. And I don't think Fedor's made a mistake yet, if I can recall, except for breaking errors. And I think he only made 1 breaking error. It came up dry once or twice. It's a big error on this level, but he's not getting punished for it. But he's not missing balls either, or missing safeties. I like to land on the rail here. If I get frozen, I can play the 5 in the same pocket. If I get straight on the 4, I can play the 5 in the opposite pocket. He got straight. He's going to flow forward a little bit.
Could come back too and use the bottom rail to come out. It keeps
Yeah, he
you
could
off
just
the
stop
rail.
it and have the cue ball right in front of the side. That's what I would have done, but he went forward. I do like having the full cue ball visual, but he's not too close to the rail where it's a factor. And I think he can draw right back to the rail and out. Oh, stop shot, okay. Guess he didn't want to get closer to his work. He'll pocket this with a little bit of left English and sort of a stun shot and go 2 rails back towards the second diamond on the long rail and come out straight in on the 10, hopefully. Okay, came a little low, so he underhit that, put a little too much draw on that.
Yeah, like you said before earlier, that you'd rather be up high on that, shooting that more like a spot shot or anywhere in between than being low here.
Right, and here's the reason why. The cutting the 10 in brings the side pocket into play, and it also brings the upper left corner pocket by the Predator and Simona's sign into play. So you really want to avoid this sort of position on the 10 ball when you can. Right. Obviously, it comes up a lot, so it's also a shot that we practice a lot. Now, the best way to avoid this, if he's got a thick enough angle, is to draw it above the side. And if he has a thinner angle, you use follow to avoid the side the other way. So he'll try to just beat the side with a little bit inside and then go to the first diamond on the other long rail. Nice shot by Fedor. He's not going to want to hit that many more times. And as you've seen, probably the whole event, that's the first shot we've seen where he was facing the side pocket, scratch possibility, you know. So we do fend against that position.
He takes a nice little lead there with the break, taking over probably 2 or 3 opportunities here for Shane that he's going to have to make up eventually, you know, whether it's safety play. But if we go back and forth now with the break. And
yeah, if it does become a breaking run clinic, Fedor's wins. You know, if both guys start breaking or running flawlessly, then Fedor is guaranteed to win. So he really wants to hold his handicap, so to speak.
Yeah.
And whenever you get a decent lead, you don't want to take any risks.
Let's see if he amps this up a little bit more than the last time.
Yeah, a little more pop, I think, is what he needs. I don't know if he needs to hit it much harder, but a little more pop. That's a good pop. And that's a good result. He's got position on the 1. He made 3 balls.
Does a 3 ball go? Camera 4.
It looks like it goes in the side. It goes in either the side, maybe the corner. I'm not sure about the corner. It definitely goes in the side.
Yeah. 2 to the 3.
Yeah, he's playing side pocket position, which means he's going to want to be above the 2 and slightly to the right side of the table so he can come down 2 rails going towards the gap that he has between the 4 and 7. So he'll go off the 2 towards the Brunswick, towards the second diamond, and then back towards the spot area for position on the 3 in the side.
I like that. You just got to make sure you don't clip that 9 ball when you come in through 2 rails.
Yeah. Okay.
You took this a little different route. Go forward.
Yeah. Now he's going to draw back for the side pocket or the corner. If he overdraws it, he's got the corner. If he gets on the side, he's good. He's got a small window, basically a diamond distance for error. Anything outside of that, and it's going to be very complicated.
Yeah, this could be trouble, too.
Yeah, he got a little off on the 1 of the 2 here. This was not what he intended. But it's what he's left with, so he's got to come with a good recovery shot.
I hit that.
And did he get it? I think he got the corner. He got the corner. Great shot. Great recovery. He'll flow it up for the 4 in the lower right corner.
Young Fedor looking really good here.
Looking great. That was a beautiful stroke he put on. You noticed that even though he had to travel 4 diamonds to it and 4 diamonds back, he got right in that diamond range they need to be in. So that's a really good cue ball control. It's clear to me that he practices his speed control a lot, or else he would not be able to recover like that. Those are shots that just turn a match around. You know, when you do get out of line, you recover that way. He's got to feel good about his game, you know.
Yeah, and this really puts the pressure on Shane to just perform perfectly, even though Fedor's performing perfectly. You know, it really puts the pressure on you.
Now, last time the 9 was in this position, I was actually talking with Caroline about this. A lot of times it's good to go ahead and put the 9 where it is and leave the 10 where it is and practice position shots from there, thicker and thinner, and seeing how to get position. Last time he played 3-rail position and he crossed the line and landed perfect on the ball. Let's see if he plays for that position or plays to get a little thicker and just draw it straight back. Because then you'll know his personal preference. Yeah, this time he got straight on it to draw straight back, so I wonder which one he likes more now.
Got a little straight, though.
He got a little straight, but he should be off the rail on the 10. It's a pure draw stroke.
Yeah, anywhere between the head string and the side.
Just get to the side pocket.
Yeah.
Anything above is bonus. Get to the side pocket
Perfect.
if you're making the ball.
Beautiful. Fedor Gorst puts another one up on the board, taking a commanding lead 6-3. We're here at the Predator Q's.
Yeah, after the 2 to the 3 position shot, I knew the 9 to the 10 was no problem with the speed control. He hit that really nicely.
If Fedor keeps this up, Shane will be exiting the
third
building.
place. He's got to play. He's got to play perfectly. I don't say he's got to play perfectly. He's got to play well, and Fedor has to make some mistakes.
Yeah, Fedor has to make a few mistakes, not just one. Yeah, he's good. This is a race to 9, so.
Okay, now Shane's move his break over slightly to the left from where he was breaking before. Again, crossed over. It's going to have perfect shape on the 1. The 3 is not blocked by the 5. This is a very, very easy out. He'll play the 1. He'll leave his cue near the long rail where he's standing. And he'll go 2 rails towards the 3 ball, but doesn't need to get anywhere past the middle of the table. 1, 2. Just wants to get near the middle of the table. That's good enough. Now he can come 3 rails around, play for the side pocket, and I would go ahead and get above the 4. 1, 2. I think I said 3, but I meant 2 rails. Get above the 4 like you did.
Yeah, stop right there now if you'd like.
Yeah, he'll roll down, though. He'll get close to the 5. Anytime you can get close to your work, it's always easier to play position for your next ball. Like even now, if he has to draw it back and out, it's very easy because he's so close to the 5. You know, he's not likely to miscue or do anything funky.
Yeah, that's a good tip I got taught early on, was just because a ball's close to the hole doesn't mean you want to be that far away from it.
Right.
So especially when it's in the hole, you want to be as kind of close as possible. Let's draw back a pinch here. No.
Wow.
How about you just fire it in?
Now, that was an incredible stroke. I don't know if you guys realize how difficult that was. He was almost straight on the ball, slaughtered it to get back to the middle of the table so that he was good on the 8.
Yeah, he was able to move that about 4 feet.
Yeah, it was an incredible stroke. That would be one to watch again on the replays. But we got the live stream, so you're going to just have to remember it in your heads.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll see it again.
All right. Crossed the line, landed perfect with speed. He's going to enjoy this shot. And this will close the gap a little bit, making it 6-4, much better than 7-3. So he's glad to get back on the board there.
Yeah, well, he held his serve. So
yeah, he did what he was supposed to do. He did what he had to do.
Did what he has to. He's got to continue to do that and just only hope that Fedor falters or does something on his break and gets a kind of a bad little roll. It's the only thing that's going to help him.
All right, he's constantly racking the 2 3s in the corner. Now,
that doesn't help him, by the way.
It doesn't hurt him. The closer you get to the center, the more you get a double kiss at the back short rail. But if they're tracking towards the corners and they get close to pockets, it doesn't really matter where they are. With the 10-ball break, it seems like all the balls are not really congesting at the speed that they're playing. If there was a lot of congestion, it'd be a lot more difficult putting those balls in different spots. But
if you moved them over, both
see
to
how
the
they both
center.
got kicked?
Yeah,
and now they all stay down table. So now he's got the 1, 2, 3, 4 all
table.
at the bottom half,
Yeah,
or all at the top half.
Worked out pretty well. But usually I've seen some pattern racks.
Yeah, there's some that are almost guaranteed that. Definitely some patterns that do allow that. I think he's going to bank this in the side by the 7-ball. The 7-ball makes this a big pocket. Positioning's a little difficult to get on the 3. He might want to go 2 rails and clip the 4 if possible, or clip the 3 towards the pocket. But he's definitely going aggressive here. He might be able to go into the 6 and hold the cue. Not quite
and
sure
he can
what
go
he's
a little wide because he's got the 7 there.
Yeah, he went around.
Oh, he missed the whole
And to
thing.
make sure he got around to the 3 position, he missed the 1.
And there's one of the mistakes that SVB needs in order to get back into this game.
Right, and can SVB punish him for it? Is this ball pocketable off the 7? And the reason you want to go off the 7 is because you alleviate the 5 problem. So he would like to go off the 7 here. It actually helps his cause.
Is he able to swing past that 8, 10?
I believe so.
Hits that thin?
I believe he can swing right around the 10-8, couple 2 or 3 rails to get position on the 3 ball.
That would work out really nice for him.
Guys, AZ Billiards is also a contributor to this. They do have their new T-shirts out. I was showing those earlier. If you guys are interested, feel free to reach out to azb.com, I believe it is.
Yeah.
AZ Billiards.
azbilliards.com. Nice shot there by Shane.
That was not
Let's
to
not
his liking.
scratch.
Nah, the 5-7 is tied up. That's why he's concerned. So once he pockets the 3, he's got to play position on the 4 to attack the 5 or to play a safe on the 5.
I wonder if the 5, 7, 9, the 7 goes off the 9 into the side. That's what he's looking at. Apparently not.
It looks like it goes at the point.
He's looking if he can throw it. He doesn't want to give the table back, but he has got a real good option if he's able to get on this 4 ball and get position on the 5, kind of where in line where he's standing now, and then play
stick it there, go into the 7.
Play the 3-rail safe.
Right.
Lock him up and back at a 7.
Right. Clip the 7, get behind the 9, and put the 7 in play. Get the 5 out of play, and leave your opponent in the dark. That's his objective. If that's the play he so chooses to accept.
Because he really doesn't have. We'll see what he has on this 4 ball. Oh, he got a nice little roll there. Is he going to get aggressive here? He can go into these balls.
He could go into them.
Never know what's going to happen.
It's a little risky because he has to go underneath, which means it brings the side pocket into play, and he's got to attack the 7. If he attacks the 9, he's not guaranteed position on the 5. So
yeah, that's dangerous.
Super dangerous.
Too many variables.
I personally like either Z and 3 rails, going long rail, short rail back towards the 5 so I can get underneath it and play a safe, or coming above it. Now he's looking at the window he has to attack it, to attack the cluster with the cue ball. Very dangerous.
There's a scratch down here too.
I have to say that when I'm behind in a match, I'll be more conscious of the percentages and less likely to play how I feel. Like maybe he feels like he can get this shot, but
I never play percentages.
But if you feel like it's questionable, and you go for it, you're in big trouble here because there's a huge pocket and you're not guaranteed a shot after hitting the 7. The 7's actually tracking towards the second diamond.
He's looking at this kiss again. He's going to put all these options into his brain there and.
Yeah, you see the 3-rail pattern, cutting the 4, hitting the chalk, going down to the second diamond, coming down around here. If you can get back, 1, 2, 3, 4 rails underneath the 5, you have a lot of safety options. And you can break out the 9 while doing it if you want, and there's just a lot of good things you can do. But
only thing is, you do still have a little bit of slide left in this table, and
yeah, if it goes a little deeper, you're still good. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. There are some variables to account for it. I think he's attacking it. I think this is dangerous. I hope for his sake I'm wrong. But let's see what pans out. Okay. He played it at a speed where he knew he was going to be close to the 5, and he knew he was going to have something. And he's got a great safety. Very well played, and he actually alleviated the problem for later if he does get a good safety on him. Now what he can do is he can hit the 5, roll the cue ball onto the 7, taking away all the kicks out of the 5 ball. I like that, wedging him in there between the 7 and the rail. You put your opponent in jail, and all Gorst is going to be able to do is try to tie up a ball if he's able to do that. But I think that's the play here. He could also try to stop the ball and bank the 5 out and leave the cue on the 9. But I like wedging him. Wedge him right in between the rail and the 7. You take away everything. It's good enough. Good enough. Now, if he wedged him, he wouldn't even have the 1 rail kick. You know what I'm saying? If you got him in between those balls instead of on top, you take away the 1 rail kick. Now he's got a 1 rail kick, and some good things can happen for Gorst. And we're talking, an inch difference. But he executed it very well. He is frozen on the 7. He did take away a lot of the banks.
This is still a tough a hit.
Very tough hit. But I'd rather him have no hit.
That's one of my hardest, a shot that I tend to stay away from is the 1 rail kicks as opposed to going more than 1 rail.
Well, 1 rail going to the short rail where you have the cue ball and the object ball far away from each other is a very hard angle to see. And you really have to be deliberate in this execution here. I do believe he's going to hit this well, though. I think this is a must hit, and I suspect he's able to calculate this angle well and hit either side of the ball he wants. I'm a little surprised he didn't call it. Did he call it? He called it, right?
Yeah, you just make it. Ouch.
Yeah, Shane's thinking he got a little bit of a bad roll there, and he did. He's going to make that maybe 30% of the time. Maybe less than that, but incredible kick shot.
How about that kick? Oh, my God. Fedor won't be stopped, he said. Put me back at a 7, put handcuffs on me, I'm getting out of here. What a kick that was. He still has some work to do here.
Yeah, this is pretty easy position. I just go rail first and go forward. I don't use any English here because I don't want the cue ball to leak away on me, but I just put forward ball on this. It should track naturally towards the first diamond on the short rail and then go wide towards the second diamond on the long rail. He could use a little bit of English, but don't get crazy here. Yeah, I think he just used follow there. I don't think he had any English. I didn't see the cue ball spinning. And I think that's a little safer, to be honest. Putting the English, a lot of times you can overspin the ball, and then suddenly you're behind the 9.
Yeah, I didn't like getting anywhere near that 9 because you only got about a foot landing zone over there, right?
Yeah, he got nice and close to the ball. I would have accepted a diamond further away myself just to make sure I don't bring anything into play. But he hit a great, we'll follow up, play the 8 in the side, I believe. He followed up strong. He's going to play the 8 in the corner. Might be jacked up over the 9. Nope, he's all right.
You could stay flat on this.
I don't play this in the corner. I play this I don't play the 9 in the side. I play it in the corner, and that's what he's looking at. This is another, what I like to call a Z pattern. He's going to hit the long rail and go back to the other long rail diagonal and come out a foot, try to land straight on the 9 so he can flip forward for the 10. If he has any angle, he'll try to favor the right side of the 9 ball.
Utilizing that second rail's nice. That's a good trick, too.
Yeah, you had to, I think that was a must. Just to make sure you pocket the ball. You can hit it nice and crisp and get good position on the 9. Great shooting by Gorst. And really, really solidifying his lead, making it very difficult for Shane to take control of this match.
Yeah, Fedor with a nice lead, 7-4. He's on the hill to get to the hill.
Yeah, it's a race to 2 or a race to 6. Or, sorry, race to 2 or a race to 5. Race to 9 total.
Yeah, Shane
So Shane's got to get 5 games, and Gorst needs 2. Now,
even with just giving Shane the rest of his breaks, he's still going to need.
well, Shane's going to stay positive.
2
Shane's
mistakes.
a champion. Shane knows that he's won several times from this deficit. You know,
Just beat Jeremy the same way, basically.
just has to stay focused and make sure that he doesn't blow any opportunities. He didn't make an error there. I wouldn't say he made an error there by going into those balls because he hit it with the percentages to make sure he wouldn't get safe. And I appreciate the thought process that went into that shot. There were a lot of variables that were dangerous, but he took as many of them as he could out of the equation. You know, a little unfortunate not to get a little better roll after going into them, but maybe a slight execution and not freezing him to the long rail on that safety play between the 7. This looks like this is a nice clean out. If he can get on the 3 ball,
yeah, the 3 seems
in the side.
3 passes the 5, I believe, if he wants to stay up
If
there.
it passes the 5 in the corner, he's going to play the 3 in the corner. If it doesn't, he'll play for the 3 in the side. We should be able to tell by the angle he gets on the 2 ball what he's playing for. If he comes to the... Well, actually, he can play both positions from both areas.
Use a little outside to move the cue ball over without hitting anything. You know, he was dead straight, and
Yeah, he cheated the pocket a hair. He's going to go either attack the 8 or draw straight back for the corner. He has the corner, so he's playing the corner. This makes the run out much easier. Since it goes in the corner, I really don't see any difficulty. He stayed on the left side of the 5, so he can squirt over to the right side of the table for the 6 and 7. I do pull back a little bit on this 6 to get a little thicker angle on the 7 because I want to go a little deeper into the corner pocket. I like this too. He got down to the short rail so he can come 1 rail at the 8. He'll make sure he gets underneath the 8 so he can play position on the 9 in the lower left corner. See how he's underneath the 8? It makes the run out nice and easy. Now he'll stay above the 9 so he has options. If he's straight, he'll draw it straight back. If he has angle, he can go to the rail and out. Okay, he had a little angle, so he went to the rail and out. Played short side position there, but got perfect on the 10. I say short side, it's very minimally on the other side of the table, so...
got a score change.
7-5, guys. Shane's staying alive. Fedor playing very, very well. Beautiful kick on the 7 ball to take the stronger advantage. Now he's breaking now. If he breaks as he has been the later half of the set, he's going to be favored to have another break and run. He's making sure the rack's tight before he gets up this time. He's really analyzing the rack, making sure that he's not sort of messing up his own percentages of having a quality break. Erwin walking by. He's the best photographer in New York City for all the billiard events. He'll be bouncing around here this month a lot for coverage. Anyone interested, please reach out to Erwin. And Fedor appears to be breaking a little. No, he's breaking from the same spot he's been. He's breaking halfway between the first and second diamond, lined right up to the 1 ball. And he's just trying to squat the rock here. He's going to hit this. I like to hit this with a half tip above center and sort of get the cue ball to pop a hair. And I believe that's what both these guys are doing. You'll notice that if they ever do miss hit it, it'll have a little forward roll on it. That's the half tip above center. Okay. He got a decent kick by the 6 after getting a bad kick from the 3.
Nice break there, though. Very controlled.
Shane's smiling over there. I think he's got to play the 1 and play for the 2 in the side. Yeah, just like that. He's looking at that same position. And the 3 goes in the corner. The 5 and 7 are tied up. And the 6 has a small window with the 9 ball precluding a lot of pattern possibilities. So he's got a bit of work here ahead of him. This is not an easy out.
Take a chance here with a little outside on this 1 ball.
You have to put, well,
clip them one of those balls there, or you don't even want to touch them.
I wouldn't take a chance here. He's in control. He needs to stay in control. He wants to minimize risk. He wants Shane to be forced to play the riskier shots. Shane has to play a little more aggressive from this position. Fedor does not. So Fedor just wants to maintain control. I think I just cut this with the highest percentage. No top, because top does bring the bottom left corner into play. But just a little bit of outside just to check it. But I wouldn't try to attack the 5-7 at all. Just a sliver of outside English just to check the cue ball. That's a nice play. Now, if he left him above the... he's good here.
Side.
He's good here. He's got the 3 ball. He can come across table. He's going to Z back from the 3 to the 5.
Yeah, and the 5 does have a pocket.
5 has the upper left corner as we're looking.
Short side.
And the good thing about the 5 to the 6 is the line from the 5 to the 6, if you were to stop it, it's a perfect line. So as long as he gets slightly below the 5, or I guess you could say above the 5, but past the 5 line,
right.
He can go into the 7, maybe even push to the other side table, which makes it easier to play position on the 7 from the 6. So a lot of good things happening here from Fedor's game. Very intelligent play. You see where he's putting his finger. That's where he wants to get his cue. If he comes a little lower, he's still good. He just gave you his whole window there. So basically, right around the first time is what he's trying to execute here. This is a center outside English shot, about 1 tip of outside English. It's not like 2 tips, but it's like a tip or half a tip outside English, and more of a stun outside. You don't really want to draw it or else you bring the side pocket.
Kind of punch this, right?
Yeah. You want it to fly off the tangent to the rail and then put a little bit of right to bring it back up. Okay, this is going to be good. It looks like he's a little steep, but the 7 will keep the line, so he's fine here. And he's actually pushing the 7 towards the left side.
And that is a 6 down here next to the 9, correct? Yep.
Yeah.
He's angsting about it a little bit.
He might have got a little steeper than he'd like. I believe this is a half ball hit, though, so this is a very high percentage shot. It's actually a sliver past a half ball hit, but the edge of his tip is probably aiming at the edge of the 5 ball, so very high percentage shot still. He still has part of the 5 ball you can look at as his aim point. I look for him to pocket this and have pretty ease on getting to the 6, because the 7 should stop the progress. Now, if he hits the 7 thin, that's another story. Oh.
Yep, ball just about made it there.
So from here, this is tricky. But he just looked at, I'm not sure if it's possible. He's trying to go between the 9 and 10 to the long rail, to the short rail, and back out. Now, to me, it looks like he'll clip the 9 and scratch, or scratch straight ahead. He's checking the tangent now. If he mains the tangent and just clips the bottom part of the 9, it's going right in the drink.
I think he's got to power up on this a little bit. Because you can hit this a little fuller with a lot of,
you know what I like here?
A lot of English.
Here's what I like. I like banking the 6 back towards the Brunswick and putting the cue ball into the 10 and have the 9 ball block all possibility of the cue ball.
I'm not liking that one bit.
I don't like letting the cue ball go. I do not like letting the cue ball go. If he scratches here, he's going to wish he played a safe. Now, If he can draw into the 9 thicker and hold the 9 in position, that's another story.
I think he can hold the cue ball in position with a lot of low left. And
Why
basically
the left? I'm just curious about the left. Why would you put left English on this?
to throw it in there, and
So
it
you're trying to
changes
hit
the
it thicker?
trajectory. Yeah, so you can hit it thicker, hit the 6 thicker.
Yeah, it's just new cloth, new ball, so I don't think the throw's going to take as much. If this were old equipment, you got action, but that scratch was so big.
Uh-oh.
That
Still
scratch
got a
was
scratch.
so big.
Hey, not where you anticipated to scratch.
Even if he didn't scratch, he was on the very tough shot in the 7. You know, not that he wouldn't have executed it, but I think that
A safe would have been prudent there.
at least a consideration. Now, if he considered it and said, you know what, I'm not going to scratch, I'm going for the shot, then okay. And he didn't scratch, so I can't argue with him, but
Right.
I think that it should have been consideration. The safety was so easy to execute, and
SVB steals one here.
and this was the biggest rack of the match so far. This makes Shane tie it 7-7 if he breaks some runs. Huge.
Yeah, we're back on track here from the original lag where Fedor won.
Yeah, he's basically nullified any errors early on
Yeah, it's
that have happened.
even score now, basically. Wow, that was a big turn of events.
So really, if we really think about that and analyze it, he got too thin on the 5 because he hit it as softly as he could to try to maintain position on the 6. So he really should have drawn off that ball.
Yeah, he should have dug into and hit that 7.
Rather than softly hit it, he
Right.
should have dug into it
Yes.
with a little bit of
I
draw to
definitely
maintain the
agree with
angle.
that.
So that's really where the error was. It wasn't on the 6 to the 7 where he scratched. It was really on the 5 to the 6. And maybe even he should have played position where he made sure he stayed above the 6 and wasn't going into the 7, or above the 5 and wasn't going into the 7.
Well, we kind of knew it was going to be a
We
little
knew
bit
it was
of
a
an issue.
possibility, yeah.
What a break there. Oh, it's
Wow.
a wrap.
4 balls on the break. He's playing 6 ball. Jose just waved at us. Saw him in the Philippines. Anyway,
Oh, that's why you practice your break, folks.
that's where's Caroline? I got to tease Caroline. But I mean, come on. There's not even any work here. This wouldn't even be a drill to
Oh,
practice.
sorry, folks.
Yeah, it's okay. We got the big score up. You guys aren't missing much on
That one
this.
was on me. The rest of them, Upstate Al.
Right, this is low outside. He's going to come back to the middle. He could also just play in the corner pocket. I do like playing the side, though. So does Shane. And he'll float forward a little bit. Oh, he's straight enough where he can draw back. Or nah, he went forward. Okay. And he'll just pocket this 10, and we're tied 7-7. And what a change of events.
Then the pressure's
that
on
5 ball.
Fedor right now.
This is a little thicker than a half ball hit, so he's got a really nice aim point on here. Shane got up off this ball a couple times, so he's making sure he's collecting himself before he shoots. Even Shane can miss a ball, so he's taking the time to make sure he doesn't.
But he made sure not that one.
He did. You know, I would be curious as to if Fedor saw the scratch as a possibility and whether he thought about that safety option, just to know if he thought about it. Because as you're looking at the screen, the safety was crazy easy. Crazy easy. Now, I know good rolls can happen
Right.
from Shane kicking. And, of course, he'd be kicking himself in the foot if he didn't go for the aggressive shot and Shane hit the kick and something good happened for Shane. You know, but you got to question the percentages of the 2 shots and see which was better.
Well, here we go. Fedor Gorst on his break, tied up at 7. This is a race to 9. We're at the Predator Q Steinway Classic. And Fedor makes one of those balls in the side and has eyes on the 1
A lot of pressure on that break, and he executed it very well, to be honest. That break was a critical break for Fedor, and he executed it like a world champion there. He's got a shot in the 1. He can play it in the corner, come between the 9 and the 10, or play it in the side, and come over by the 5 and out.
I'm not sure if he can play that in the corner. It's mighty steep, and he's kind of close.
Yeah, it might be steeper from the actual table perspective. Yeah, very steep. You're right. He only has the side pocket. Looks like he's got an easier side pocket than I thought, though. From here, it looks very tough. From the other screen, it looks like it's a pretty thick hit. This is maybe a 20-ish degree cut, so he's aiming pretty thickly on this ball, and the pockets are normal size.
Let's see if he kind of tucks him up over there on the rail by the 5, just in case, or does he just go for this?
I think you got to go all out for pocketing here. He does want to get out for the 2, so he'll straight up just pocket this ball, I believe. Great shot by Fedor. He's got one more ahead of him, and then the rest of the rack is easy. If he can make this 2-ball, and the 7-ball is a little helper here. The 7-ball is not a hindrance. The 7-ball helps this in. Makes the pocket pretty enormous, to be honest. So he'll hit this with the center ball, maybe a little bit of follow. Come 1 or 2 rails out for position on the 3, and he's looking great. Let's see him stay down this shot. Beautiful stroke, but missed it by half a diamond. Pressure got to him.
That was one of the biggest misses I've seen from him in a while.
But that's his only miss.
I mean, like 3 sets. Yeah, he's never hit a ball really that bad. He did miss that by a quarter of a diamond.
Funny thing is he stayed down really nicely on the shot. I was paying attention to those factors. He just lined up wrong on the ball.
I don't believe he wanted to hit that 6.
He didn't. He didn't, and this is tough position. He's got the 7-10 in the way, so he's got to use inside English. He's close to the rail, so you don't want to use inside English on this, but if you don't use inside English, the lower right corner comes into play.
And he made the 6-8 a little bit of a issue.
He congested the 6-ball where it's a tight pocket instead of a normal pocket. Yeah, error. Big error.
Let's see how he gets out of this.
If he jacks up and hits this, this will be a great shot.
I think he may be able to just use the outside and get over where his finger was.
Nah, by the time he gets to the ball, forward roll on it regardless, and he's going to have forward on the ball. He's got to use, he's got to jack up if he's trying to get it above the 10. I don't think there's any way he can hit this without jacking up if he's trying to hit that 3rd diamond. And that's what he's doing here. He hates this shot. This tightens the pocket up a lot. He doesn't want to use inside English. Now, the problem with this shot is if you're using inside English or any English on the rail, what happens is your bridge hand is not in a standard position, so the swivel point is not what you're used to, so you have to adjust for the deflection of the shot. So when you're playing rail shots, nobody likes to use English, and if you do use English, you got to be very conscious of exactly how much you're going to compensate for deflection, because the deflection is much different than when your hand's on the table or when your hand's in a position that you're accustomed to distance-wise from the ball, from the cue ball. And Shane actually plays with the high deflection shaft, so it's even more amplified with him. Okay, he slow-rolled it, and that was the best option, and I really like his choice there. He's very thick on the ball, so he's got to negotiate position to the 6, which means he's got to draw it out, which tightens up the pocket a little bit, or rail first follow.
I like that.
And I'm not against the rail first follow.
Or just rail first, outside English, and let it run.
Got Eric Carrasco in the house saying hello. Eric's an up-and-coming player, practices hard. Plays pool probably every day.
Going rail first drawing.
If he does a rail first draw, it tightens up the pocket even more.
Tried to force it in.
Yeah, he just tried to draw it in a pocket that he thought would accept it. Fedor might play the carom on the 9, or he'll cut the 5 down in the lower left corner.
SVB picking a bad time at 7-7, race to 9.
Both players, horrible time to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Both players are feeling the pressure, I think, and both players are struggling a hair. And look, they're human guys. Everyone talks about these players as if they don't miss. I've seen every single top pro miss the easiest shots you could imagine.
At least once.
On TV by themselves. It's just something that happens. So we just have to accept it, and he's going to try to move forward and play the best he can the rest of the set. That's all you can do.
Little fortune here. Fedor's trying to settle in. Let me look over here and see.
Well, this is a steep cut. This is a back cut. He's aiming at the edge of the ball again, maybe slightly thicker. He's also, the carom's not as easy as I thought. Looks a lot more off from here.
Just slide past that 9?
No, he's going to hit the 9. The 9's a must.
I'm saying, does the 5 go past the 9 or shoot it straight in?
In the side?
Yeah.
Maybe. That's what he's looking at now, I guess. Okay. I can't see the edge of the pockets. All I see is blue. I can't see a shadow.
I think he has a half a pocket.
Well, half pocket on this table is like a diamond table, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And he looked at the 7, knowing he was going to hit it, and all I can say is, wow. He could have avoided that.
He's kind of put his cue down and a little disheartened, but I believe the combination could be on.
I think this is a tall order at this point. And if the combination's on, he's super fortunate. I almost think the bank is a high probability. If the combination isn't on, the bank is a possibility. The problem is you're crossing over it, so you got to spin it a little bit to compensate for the collision-induced English, cutting the ball to the left to bank it back at you. What did he just call? Did you see what he called, Troy? I missed what he called here.
No, I'm sorry. I was looking down.
I think he's banking the 6 in the side, playing a safety. He's trying to get the 6 back to the second diamond here on the short rail, on the lower short rail, playing the bank in the side just in case he gets really lucky. Okay, that's a great shot. That is an absolutely great shot. That makes up for any errors he made.
Yeah, nice containing safe there.
Super shot from where he was, and an intelligent shot. I know he's frustrated that he had to play it, but
what do you do here now for your SVB?
He's got a couple options. He could split the 2 balls, try to get him behind the 10. If he does that, he's going to be right back where he is on the next shot. He could try to thin the 6
on the left side.
On the left side, as we're looking at the screen, he would definitely miss the 9, but he might have the 9 and 10 as blockers if he can thin it thin enough not to move the 6 much.
Just
tall order from 8 diamonds away.
And what happens sometimes is you catch the point on a side pocket with this, which is
okay. So did he call the corner or the side?
You could bank at it too.
I think he's trying to bank it back the same way that Fedor banked it. Bank it near the side, back towards the middle diamond, and accept your poison with what Fedor comes up with next.
I'm saying, but does it top left corner, is that open past the 9 on a regular bank?
It does, but if you miss it, you sell out. he wants to play a two-way shot here because a two-way shot exists. I think he wants to play a two-way shot. And honestly, I believe the 9's partially in the way of the bank.
If that's the case, I'd thin it to the left side and come around and play speed with the cue ball. But
I think you might be right. I think he called this the corner.
I like being aggressive. I shoot at this, I think. You're most likely going to sell out anyway.
Well, this wins or loses the rack. You know, like this possibly wins or loses
match.
the set. Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes it's best to just keep it simple from this position and just split the two balls. Try to get them behind the 10. If you don't, you know, it's easy to see a half ball hit. It's hard to see the edges from here. You know what I'm saying? Like, to try to thin it, I think is very demanding. If the 9 weren't there, I see going aggressive as a possibility, but I think the 9 blocks the pocket, to be honest. I don't think he has the bank. Another play he could do, which might seem a little risky, is bank the 6 to the other side, try to get it past the 7 and try to get the cue ball by the 9. Then you have the 9 and the 7 as potential blockers. I'm not sure if that shot's there, but that's something that I would consider. You could also bank it one rail back up between the 10 and 9. If he's got enough angle to beat the kiss, he can do that.
8 sitting there, though, that's not a good option.
Yeah, but the object ball is going to be 2 diamonds from the 8, so to get the carom is still a tall order. You know,
big rail there too. Yeah, I don't like putting that over there.
Yeah, but you might get him behind the 9.
Yeah, okay, I see that, but
you know, that's my favorite shot of all the ones I see now. Now that I've had as long as I've had Shane had to look at it, that's what I would play.
The same amount of time. That's what I like to do. I don't
like this. I don't like this.
Trying to make the ball.
I don't like it.
You hit that is about as good as you can hit it, too.
Yeah, I think I don't know how much he missed the 9 by, but I know the 9 was a factor, and I know he had to go wide to miss the 9. If he missed the 9 by a lot, then he had the pocket, and I think it's the right play.
No.
You would rather go down shooting than go down on a safety. I get that, but
This was Shane's break? No, this was Fedor's break, so
he's got another break. Shane's got another break.
I believe so, yeah.
Exciting match nonetheless.
This is a race to 9.
We have Mr. Robles, Tony's father, in the house.
That was a game-winning, possibly a set-winning safety by Fedor. A smart play.
Incredibly smart play.
Yeah, it was a great.
Brilliantly executed as well. Like almost got the 6 ball frozen to the rail. That was the 6 in the cube. He'll swing around this 3 rails, I think. 1, 2, 3. Get a little relief off the rail. Nice shot. And looks like almost a stop shot. He's got to cut it a hair. And I got to admit, guys, I really thought that Shane was going to put on a breaking clinic here and make it very difficult for Fedor to control this. But Fedor has been very impressive with his break and very impressive with his decision-making. And I would say this is not because of the rolls that Fedor is ahead. You know, he's just played a little better than Shane. So if Shane can break and run out, now's the time to call on his 60-40 percentages. 60% chance breaking and running. I mean, he really breaks and runs a lot, so maybe higher than that, maybe more than 70%.
You really think that
I think
high?
so. I think it's pretty strong. I like to see some of his TAR matches and see what the percentages are on that. I know I wouldn't gamble against it. Okay, he doesn't have a shot in the 2. Not an open shot.
I think his aggressive days are over, but there is a shot available. He played a 2 into the rail, off the 6, into the side.
I don't think that's available. I think it's too high up on the pocket, above the pocket. I think the 6 is too far above. If I'm looking at it correctly, if he wanted to play aggressive, the only aggressive shot would be the 2-6 combination, which I couldn't shoot with a gun to my head.
Yeah.
You know, I think the right shot here is a safety.
Safe, yeah. He's got a nice one too. He's looking at the combination.
He's looking at the
Put the 6 in.
The side. Again, the 6 is definitely above the side, which is why the carom isn't available. This is a very aggressive shot. I know why he's shooting it. He doesn't want to go down playing safeties. But you know what? He might actually leave this safe if he misses it. Well,
Fedor on the hill with an opportunity to close this door.
A wide open opportunity, we might add. He's got a natural 2-railer. Middle diamond towards the 3. May go a little deeper just to avoid the 5 ball. I actually like that. He
Deeper
could also
into
swing.
this bottom.
He'll probably swing 1 rail up just to make sure that there's no way of getting safe. You can just swing 1 rail between the 2 and the 10 now, and come back up towards the 3 in the side.
Little inside to check it up, possibly.
Yeah, if you need it. I'm not sure how thick he is on this ball. A straight follow might work perfectly. He might need a little check if he's a little thin on the ball. He's going the 2-rail route, but I like the 1-rail myself. I know I'm crossing the aim line, but I feel like I have more of a chance of getting straight in 1-rail. Okay, he did go 1-rail. It would have been nice for him to be straight on the shot. Now he's got to go to the rail and back.
Especially at the end of the race.
Yeah, we know both players are playing with a lot of pressure right now. This is the semifinal match. Winner of this plays Thorsten Holman in the finals, waiting patiently for the winner of this match.
And that'll be a race to 13?
There'll be 1 race to 13. There is no double elimination in the final round. And what an exciting match this has been, to be honest. I've seen a lot of the matches, and this is a very exciting match. The Dennis match was sort of a blowout that I watched earlier, and even today it was a blowout the other way. So I like this play. I like playing in the corner. He went past the line, though. He wanted to be on the right side of the 5 as we're looking at it. He's on the left side.
He can still play this in the side pocket, correct? Yeah. I'm just going to draw this back. Use a little more power. Wonder if the 8 comes into play when he draws back.
You know, that's a pretty big error there.
Yeah.
This made this rack work when...
He's pretty straight on it, though.
Yeah.
He just comes straight back.
He might have to go 2 rails out of the corner pocket there to the right. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
With low left English. And honestly, if I were going to do that, I might just let it get nice and close to the 6. Yeah, I like that. I like getting closer to the 6.
Well, he got all of that ball.
That's.
Put a bow on it.
If you're gonna have to use the English and shoot that shot, you might as well get straight on. You know, get good on the ball.
Yeah, get good on it.
He let his stroke out so he could get nice and close to the 6, and that should be the damaging blow that wins the set. He wants to leave angle, so he's going to be a little close to the rail here on the 7.
Look at his facial expressions. He's keeping his composure really nice, too.
Yeah, I think Shane's losing his a little bit, but I mean, not really, but he's feeling it. He's annoyed that he didn't win, obviously.
He made a few mistakes.
This is 1 rail up. You want to take the side pocket out of play, so you hit this with a little bit of check. There's almost no way to go into the 9, so just make sure you get good and deep towards this lower right corner.
So you're just hitting this with a
high,
sliver, right?
Sliver of right.
A sliver of right.
Yeah, just not center right. Center right brings the side pocket into play. But you know, like a quarter tip of right. Just enough to check it, so I beat the 9.
You don't like shooting?
Okay, like the running, a little bit of running. Give it a little assistance, like you said, right?
Yeah, a little right English. Just that's beautiful.
Perfection. Michael Yetnick calling it like it is.
Now, if the 9 goes by the 10, he'll draw it back, put the cue ball right in front of the side again. So he has a full cue ball on the 9 ball, and then this rack should be over. If he's got angle, he'll push it out to the left. He could also follow and go out to the left, and I kind of like that from here, to be honest. Just a nice follow stroke. Go to the short rail and back out. Make the rack even easier.
Yeah, you don't expect him to do anything.
You don't have to hit it that hard to get it to go there.
Yeah.
He actually hit it a little harder than I would have.
You don't want to be forcing balls at this point.
Right, but he's got a nice angle. This is a stun shot.
I think you can taste victory.
Yeah, just stay composed. Make sure you breathe. And, he'll be all right here.
Don't forget to breathe.
Shane's just sitting there.
Yeah, he's not going to concede. Both players have played a little off, so fair enough to make him shoot.
Fedor Gorst takes down SVB in the semifinals. Fedor will be going on to the finals against Thurston.
Thorsten and Fedor Gorst. A race to 13 coming up here at 6 o'clock, guys. Please stay tuned. Special thanks to AZ Billiards, Simonis Cloth, Grimaldi, Aramith, Chalky Sticks, JBQs, Kamui, Light Systems, and obviously Predator. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll be back shortly.
Yes, thank you, Michael.
Thanks.